It's time for Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears, with your hosts, Alex.
Gosh, I have so many questions. Also, where's my car?
Splash.
Strive to love something as much as my grandmother loves buying new crock pots.
And Mac.
If you've ever been to Boston, you know that they have amazing ice cream.
Coming to you from coast to coast, it's L.A.R.
Hello and welcome into another episode of Losses Above Replacement, the greatest baseball podcast to grace your ears. I'm today's host, Mathias Altman-Kurosaki, and with me, as always, we have my amazing co-hosts, Ryan Splash Potts and Alex Clark. Gentlemen, we are actually recording on a Wednesday this week. Feels like we haven't done that in a while.
It feels like it's a Christmas miracle that we're actually recording on a Wednesday.
Exactly. So yeah, we are recording on a Wednesday evening. How are we doing today?
I mean, we're here. Actually, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I can't really complain at the moment here. Yes, Seattle lost today, but they had a huge win yesterday, winning 8-0 against the Red Sox and Cal Raleigh, getting 6 RBIs, including a grand slam. Yeah, but on top of it, and also just on a completely not baseball, well, somewhat baseball-related note, I collect a lot of baseball cards, and I had a lot of bulk that I just did not need. In fact, 6.4 pounds of it. And I sold it to my local card shop, got some good store credit, and got one of my Pokemon Chase trading cards of Ethan Cyclosion Trainer Gallery, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, everything's solid here. Just kidding, it's all liquid here because it's been pouring down rain for the last week. So much so that
same here.
Yeah, so much so that my dad's flight in got delayed. So I won't get to see him today, but I'll see him tomorrow. By the time this is out, happy birthday, Dad! You're the real MVP.
Happy birthday, Splash's dad.
Yeah, happy birthday,
Yes.
Mr. Potts.
He brings bearing gifts because I was an idiot and ordered the Wii to his house, not my house. So, yeah. So tomorrow at this time, I'll be playing the Wii.
Yay.
Yeah. So I would be doing better. My baseball team, for the first time this season, has forgotten how to play the sport.
First time.
By that I mean they've hit their longest losing streak of the year. All right, it's 4 whole games.
Wow,
I said this. Nice. Said this to these guys last night, but if they weren't, if they didn't have the best record in the National League right now, I probably would have been way more upset about last night's loss. Don't get me wrong, I was not happy about it. It seems like the Mets, whenever it doesn't matter what stadium they play in Atlanta, it produces some truly toxic outcomes. Everyone thought that game 161 would exercise some of those demons, but clearly they did not.
Welcome to baseball. Also, that's not how that works.
Exactly. And also the Rays came in and just steamrolled them. The Rays have won, I think, they showed it in the Kevin Cash era. The Rays have won 16 of the 21 matchups against the Mets. It's kind of crazy. They swept them last year. They swept them this year. The Rays are scary. I'm just going to say that. So yeah, that's what's going on in my world. It's funny you mentioned it, Splash. I will actually be down in Atlanta in a few weeks. My brother's defending his PhD that week, so I will be there. And then I'm going to Santa Barbara after that, so I will be gone for that week. If you're wondering why I am gone for a week in July and it's just these two guys, I am away.
Anyway, we'll do just straight up a MLB Power Pro stream. It won't even be a podcast.
Oh, that reminds me. I downloaded Backyard Baseball on my Switch.
Heck yeah.
So I've been playing some Backyard Baseball. It's really fun. I forgot how glitchy this game is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It is a broken mess, but it's our broken mess.
Oh, yeah. No, I love me some Backyard Baseball.
Look, here's the thing. The best thing you could ever do is just completely cheese the AI to make it them do bad throws so you could turn a bunt into a home run, and it is the best
exactly.
thing ever. By the way, speaking of Switch, got my Switch too.
So, solid.
Yeah. So that's what's going on in my world. I mentioned the Rays, and we are going to jump into the biggest topic on today's show that stunned, I think, the entire baseball world, the entire sports world. On Sunday night, fresh off a series sweep with the Yankees, the Red Sox traded Rafael Devers and his expensive contract to the Giants in exchange for a package of 4 players, including Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, James Tibbs III, and Jose Bayo. I mean, this caught me completely off guard. I was eating our Father's Day dinner with my parents, and I just kind of had to stop everything I was doing. I could not believe it. I still can't believe it. I mean, this is your best player, and you have him locked up on a contract, a long-term contract that it takes him until I believe 2034, and you traded him. I mean, I guess good on the Red Sox. They are not eating any of the money, but I mean, what's your guys' reaction here? I still am processing it. I mean, Splash, I'll go to you first. What do you got here?
I'm going to read our text thread, actually. All right. Sunday, 6:53. Me, what? Alex, what? With a question mark. And then I send the underdog tweet. Rafael Devers has been traded to the Giants. Then I sent 7 question marks, then 9 question marks. Alex said, what? With 3 question marks. Then holy shit. Then I sent 7 question marks. Then I said, what? Then I sent Robert Murray's tweet. The Giants are requiring Rafi Devers, yada, yada, yada. And Alex says, if true, great timing. Didn't want to go up against him. Hasn't helped the Mariners right now.
We got one win. We got one. And to be fair, in the 2 games they did win, they scored a combined grand total of 5 runs.
Yeah. So in about 5 minutes, I sent 30 some odd question marks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the EJ's video stat of the night right there? How many question marks
yes.
you just send in?
Yes, that is.
In like 30 seconds.
Yes. And then Mac came in with the Jonathan Papelbon tweet. Everyone calm down. Devers isn't getting traded.
I don't know what he was thinking there.
I mean, just want to get some more recognition again. I don't know.
Yeah. Good job, everybody.
Let's go with that.
I have an accusation to level, actually, here. I would like to accuse the Boston Red Sox of being a small market franchise. This was a small market move. This is a move the Pirates make. This is a move the Rays make. This is a move the Brewers make. The Twins make. This is not a move one of the legacy franchises in Major League Baseball should make. Imagine if the Yankees made this deal, or the Dodgers made this deal, or the Giants made this deal on the other end. The Braves, Phillies. You have 120 years of baseball history in your city. You have World Series banners won by Rafael Devers. I'll pull up his stats here, so if you're watching on the YouTube, I'm not going to read them off, but they're pretty good. I'm not saying he's Ted Williams because he's not Ted Williams, but Rafi Devers is he's invited to the All-Century team. He's invited to the Red Sox Ring of Honor type deal. Like, he's one of the 25 best hitters in the history of the franchise, a franchise that has been around since 1901 and won the first World Series in 1903. That franchise, the one that plays at Fenway freaking Park? Yeah, that one. The only reason Boston made this move is because Devers allegedly is a locker room cancer and was mad at Christian Campbell because Campbell said he wanted to play first base if he could help the team. Okay, you know what? Fine. But you realize Devers is not only the best hitter on your team, he's one of the best hitters in the American League, one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball. There's a reason he is second place overall in DH voting, if you care about All-Star voting at all. Unfortunately, not going to win that because Ohtani, Shohei will win that. This is a true disaster. Boston was a team that came into the season as a dark horse World Series team. You go back on the Baseball Tonight podcast, Buster only picked them to win the World Series. I picked them to win the World Series on this here podcast.
I picked them to win the pennant.
Yeah, a lot of people picked them to make a deep run of the playoffs, and they have their biggest stretch of the season. They sweep the Yankees. They get red hot. They're like 8-2 in their last 10. They sweep the Yankees, and a couple hours later, you trade your best player. You trade your cornerstone. You trade the, as far as I'm aware, the last remnant of the 2018 World Series team.
Correct.
And you do it in a way just to save money, basically. To save money, and because you don't like how he has treated either the rookies or how he interacts with the rookies or how he's interacted with the team in recent months. So on one hand, Devers, from what I've read, from what I've heard, not exactly painting himself in glory with how he's interacted with David Ortiz, world famous Red Sox designated hitter, an icon of the franchise, and how hasn't covered himself in glory with how he's treated the rookies. But the Red Sox, you're just getting out of a $250 million obligation, and you got jack squat in return, with all due respect to the prospects they got back. This is not a package that really should net you a top 20 hitter in the sport, top 30 hitter in the sport, one of the most consistent bats, a guy who, if you just like copy paste the rest of his career, is going to be in the Hall of Very Good, if not the Hall of Fame good. Like I have pulled up, he's 10th all time in Red Sox home runs. He's one of the most productive Red Sox ever. I don't get it. They've been around since William McKinley was president.
All right, let's talk about this a bit more. So, obviously, as Splash read, I was shocked when it happened too. But after a few days of getting to kind of, digest it a bit, definitely still surprised it happened. But I am on the complete opposite train of you, Splash. Like, complete opposite. I think the Red Sox did a good thing with this. Let me explain why. You are way underplaying how much team chemistry and how much that matters to this ballpark and to this team. But also, there's one thing I really want to stress here with this. This move not only saves you a ton of money, gets you prospects, but it makes a statement. It is making a statement to your team and your team's culture that, look, we want players who want to win, and we want players who aren't just going to be selfish about what they want to do. Like, as much as, we will definitely go out and say, like, yeah, there were probably some language barrier issues when it came to Devers here, and not playing third or not playing first or not playing DH, all that kind of stuff here. But at the same time, we're now getting multiple accounts here, not from players, from David Ortiz. The one that gets me the most is that a rookie came up and said, yeah, I'd like to try play first base if they can help the team. And he went, no, don't do that. You should not do that. Here, he was not trying to help the team win. So at that point, it's, yes, you're hitting good. Good for you. Good on it. You are helping the team win that way. But when you are an active negative in a lot of other ways, they weren't even going to be able to trade him for that much, I don't think, because the circus around him, plus the money that he was getting paid, and the money he's going to continuously be getting paid, does not equal much in the trade value there. Because right now, you have no idea if that trade can become an albatross by the word go at that point. And again, I'm not saying that it's going to. I think that he's still an incredible hitter, and he's going to do very well, I think, with San Francisco. But you now have this guy on your team for 9 years. And yes, the on the paper stuff looks good. The on the stat sheet stuff looks good. But the game is more than just a stat sheet. The game is so much more than just the metrics here. Like, if we really wanted to get down to it, like even going back to Moneyball idea here, that even the Moneyball concept alone did not work. It started to work when people started trying and you actually started to make the statement about this is what we're trying to build. This is what we're trying to do here. So it's the same concept here. They are making a statement saying, look, we're not going to tolerate this. We're going to do it. We're going to save a lot of money. We're going to invest in the future here. And I agree when it comes to Devers that he is one of the best hitters in Red Sox history. I will not discount that at all. The on-the-paper stats for him are fantastic. What isn't fantastic is what he brought to the team as a person. And as a person, as much as some people may not like to use it, being a good teammate matters, especially when you are actively going against your own coach here. And if you, like, as any parent knows, if you allow something to happen, it's going to continue to happen and it will spread to others because they will tell others that it can happen. So this is basically a parent of a child saying, all right, we are now punishing you. You've done it bad. We don't want it to spread. We're continuing on.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. And my family has a friend of ours that is a diehard Boston sports fan, probably the biggest Red Sox fan I know. And basically, I mean, the way he put it is You know, thinking from just your heart, you're not going to like this deal. I mean, you're trading probably the face of your franchise right now. And the thing that gets to me is I don't like the process of this. You know, I understand it from a business standpoint. It's actually fine, I think. You know, you were trading away a guy because he is not willing to cooperate with your organization. He's not willing to win at all costs. You know, he wasn't willing to try playing first base. He originally didn't want to just DH when they got Alex Bregman, when he's clearly not a great defensive third baseman. He's struggled at third base. But it's the fact that they did it, you know, when your team is coming off a high, you've just swept your biggest rival, the Yankees. You've won 5 of 6 against them. You've won 8 of 10 overall. And, you know, this is an offense that has struggled for most of the year, especially without Alex Bregman. And, you know, like I said, you're in the middle of June and you just traded your best hitter. And, you know, honestly, the package they got back, I think people are kind of undervaluing it. Jordan Hicks is going to be a reliever for them, and he's had pretty solid success as a reliever in the past, and he's a really hard thrower. And Kyle Harrison has started to see a velocity uptick, and I think he has a future. He's either a mid-rotation arm, or I think, like Hicks, he could be a pretty good reliever. And James Tibbs was an absolute monster at FSU last year, and he was heating up in the minors when they traded him. And Jose Bayo, he's barely pitched it professionally, so I can't really evaluate him. But I mean, it's not a bad return for Boston. And the other thing that is getting to me though is that they didn't try to really shop him around before making the deal, because, you know, say you wait a little bit longer. Either you don't end up trading him, or maybe, you know, you do end up trading him, and, you know, say a different team offers you a better package. Then it makes, like, you know, I don't think the fan base would have as visceral of a reaction here. So, I mean, really, I get why the Red Sox did it. I don't really like the thought process here. But, I mean, at a certain point, if you're going to be the face of the franchise, you have to start cooperating with your front office. I mean, we've seen it in the past. I mean, my dad was mentioning it the other day. Freddie Freeman, when he was on the Braves and Matt Adams got hot. I know it's crazy. Matt Adams was doing a great job as the starting first baseman. He said, "Hey, I'll go play third base." Or Chipper Jones, you know, I know I'm referencing another Brave here, but he moved to left field at one point. Oh yeah, Miguel Cabrera. Yeah, he moved over to third base to accommodate Prince Fielder. I mean, like granted, Derek Jeter didn't move over for A-Rod, but, like, you know, there are examples of players who are willing to move positions and whatnot to help their team get better, and Devers just wasn't doing it. So, I mean, it sucks that it came to this, but unfortunately, for Red Sox, I'm sure Red Sox fans don't want to hear this, but I understand why they made this move. So, I mean, any other thoughts on this deal? I mean, it's still pretty shocking.
Yeah, I agree with you with the like clubhouse stuff, and from what we've heard out of David Ortiz and what we've heard from Boston reporters, that it was a pretty toxic relationship between Devers and the front office. And remember, that front office was not the one that gave him the contract. That was the Chaim Bloom regime. He's in St. Louis now. It's the Andrew Bailey's the pitching coach. I'm blanking on the Craig Breslow. The Breslow management, they didn't give him the contract. So they, as far as they're concerned, it's a sunk cost. You know, maybe they would have given him the contract in a theoretical world, or maybe they think he's worth something of the money, but they don't think he's worth the $300 million contract he signed originally. So I get it. I do think performance should matter. Maybe that's why he was there as long as he was. Maybe that's why he was still playing, because he was one of the best hitters in the American League. But I don't know. I think this is a really bad look for the Red Sox and a really bad look for Rafi Devers. So maybe it's different in San Francisco. Maybe he vibes more with some players in the clubhouse. I don't know. I can't speak to that. That would be great. San Francisco is a really good offensive group. Have they played particularly well? No, but they could be a really good offense, and you add Devers in, and if Devers could play a full season there, he might be the first guy since Barry to have a 30 homer season if Ramos, Chapman, and someone doesn't do it before he does.
And I will say the one thing is that supposedly, I mean, Devers said it at his introductory press conference in San Francisco that he is willing to play first base now, which is like, all right, so is he lying right now, or did he just really not like Craig Breslow, and that's why he didn't want to play first base?
Here's my bet. We didn't make a bet for the pitching draft.
We're working on that.
We're working on that. My bet: 10:15 Eastern, June 20th. That's Friday night.
Oh, against the Red Sox.
The Red Sox come out. Leadoff batter comes walking. He hits a ground ball to Rafael Devers, and Devers steps on first base.
Oh my God, I could see.
I would laugh so hard.
It's gonna happen. I think
it should happen. Yeah. That would be the greatest thing.
That would be so. Devers has played second at the big league level. Believe it or not,
he's played short too, right?
He is 2 games at short, 2 games at second. He played 1 game at short in 2023. He is yet to play first base. That's a little weird to me. To be clear, he played 1 inning at shortstop. So, Rafael Devers, first baseman. Get ready to watch it on your TV screens because Boston is coming to town later this week.
You know what's going to be funny on top of it is that he will play first base for that series and then not again. Like, he just goes right back to DHing or something else like that right after. He'll only play first base for that one series.
Yeah, do we want to talk about this from a Giants perspective?
I was about to bring it up because I love that they're going for it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I respect it. I'll bring up this, though, real quick. This is a huge risk. Like, I think that's, especially when it comes to making this deal, Splash, you said a moment ago here that this is a bad look for Devers. I agree. I don't think it's as much of a bad look for the organization, but that's just, I think we can disagree on this one. But when it comes to the Giants, this is the definition of high risk, high reward move because you are taking on the contract here. That $30+ million a year, something like that, here is now all on your books. And yes, Devers is a very, very good hitter, but you don't plan on playing him defensively unless you put him at first base, which, again, we were just joking about that would be funny. Not sure if it'll happen, though. But you're also taking on his personality. And this is what, again, if he had this kind of toxic relationship in Boston, what's to say he won't have it also in San Francisco? But also, what's to say that he will turn over the new leaf in San Francisco? This is a huge risk-reward type play for San Francisco, and I love the boldness of it, especially in a division that is as competitive as the NL West is, where you have the Dodgers than everyone else. But I love the move. I love the idea of it. This is the first buy move of the season here. Like, and this is like, normally we are waiting until July to have any of these. And yet we just got hit with this, Passan bomb basically, although it wasn't from Passan this time.
Yeah. I mean, I really like that the Giants are going for it. And Buster Posey, credit to him. I mean, it's his first year running the ship. And I mean, he was the guy who hammered out the deal with Matt Chapman last year. He signed Willy Adames. I know I wasn't a huge fan of that contract, but he was able to get Adames. Now he swings this deal for Devers. I mean, he's trying to go all in this year. And I really, really like that because it's a competitive division. And, the Giants, the last year Posey was active, the Giants won 107 games, and they've basically been a 500 ball club ever since. So now they have this opportunity. The NL West is competitive. I mean, heck, they pulled even with the Dodgers on Friday night in the NL West, which nobody would have seen that coming early in the season. And, they could have easily, say they slumped and then he could have easily sold off. But no, he is not about that. Devers to this point has been one of the most productive hitters in baseball. The Giants offense has underperformed this year. And he provides some stability. It's a legit middle of the order bat, and they don't even have Matt Chapman right now. He's hurt. So, I mean, from the Giants' perspective, I'll say this. I think now that I think about it, it kind of reminds me of the Yankees trading for A-Rod. You're taking on a star player who has a big contract and just had a falling out with his previous organization. So I know that Devers isn't quite the caliber of player A-Rod was, but it's similar circumstances. But I think overall, I mean, Devers is also young enough where he can mature, I think. And I think San Francisco is a good place for him, playing for another guy who's a very, very respected player within the organization in Buster Posey. So, yeah, I really like this move from San Francisco's vantage point.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see what he does going forward, because it could really, again, it's high risk, high reward.
Oh, yeah.
They could legitimately, I'm not going to say they're going to win the division, right? But this is a move that does get you a lot more in that playoff hunt here. And
you're trying to contend.
Exactly, to contend. And we've seen what happens in October. Anything can happen in October.
The Giants have had a hand in that.
They have had a hand in
Buster Posey
has had a hand in that too.
Although, to be fair, there's one problem, though. There is one problem. It is an odd numbered year.
Oh, right.
So
they
can't win the World Series this year, but they could make it.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
It's true. I really like what this does for the lineup. When you get Chapman back, your infield, at least on paper, is pretty good. I'm going to put Devers in at first base and have DH be a platoon, but you can finagle that. Tyler Fitzgerald not been productive this season, but he was good last year. Willie Adames has not been productive this season, but there's a reason he's making a lot of money, and it's the pedigree. Chapman, very good. Devers, really good. The outfield, one of the best outfields in the game. You know, Ramos, Lee, Yastrzemski, they've all been excellent this season. And then your DH platoon of Flores and Dom Smith, they both hit this season. Dom Smith only 12 games, but
Flores, I remember that platoon elsewhere.
Flores is over 50 RBI. He has 11 home runs. He's 110 OPS plus. And then Patrick Bailey is a 0, if not negative at the plate, but he is terrific behind the plate. So you potentially have a 1 through 8 lineup, or at least a 1 through 7 lineup, depending on what you think of Tyler Fitzgerald. That is pretty good. And 8-9, okay, but both Fitzgerald and Bailey have been plus defenders this season. And then the pitching has been really quite solid. We took two starters in the the All-Star pitcher draft last week, and Webb and Robbie Ray. Landon Roop has been okay. Verlander is hurt, I believe.
He's supposed to be back this week.
So Verlander's on his way back. The bullpen's been excellent. Duvall, Rogers, Randy Rodriguez, a couple runs the other day, but otherwise they have the pieces to be really good and contend deep into October.
Yeah, it's interesting because the bullpen has objectively been excellent, but it feels like everyone they put in the closer's role kind of like their bad outings happen to be when they're closing. Like I remember Ryan Walker opened the year as the closer. I drafted him in fantasy this year, and he had enough bad outings where they removed him. And so they put Camilo Duvall in, and all of a sudden Duvall had a bad outing. And then, all right, let's try Randy Rodriguez in the 9th inning. And then he allows a bunch of runs to the Rockies and throws 45 pitches in the inning. So, it's an interesting ball club. I say they're almost like the National League counterpart to the Rays right now, where you look at their roster on paper and you're like, wow, how is this team winning so many games? And then you watch them play, and yeah, they have the pieces. They play the game well. I think this is the year I could see the Giants, snagging a wild card spot. I don't necessarily think they win the division. I think the Dodgers have one of those insane runs like they have every single year where they play like 850 baseball for 6 weeks. So yeah, I think overall, just to put a bow on this, I mean, it's a good move for the Giants, I think, at least in the short term. The Red Sox, I think they're not done yet. I can see them. I know Craig Breslow said they're not done, but I can see them still being aggressive and trying to contend this year. And I think both teams will end up fine in this situation. But let's go ahead and stay in the NL West, though, because there was big news in Los Angeles this week. Shohei Ohtani returned to the mound for the first time since the summer of 2023. Now, I certainly didn't see it happening before the All-Star break. I don't think anybody did. And then all of a sudden, after Sunday's game against the Giants, it was, Shohei is the opener tomorrow. So I'll go to Alex first here. What's your reaction to Shohei returning to the mound?
I was surprised. Like, we were all told that this wasn't going to happen for a while here. And now here he is in June, when I think the earliest prognosis for a lot of people was like August, maybe July. We're here in the middle of June, and we just saw Shohei Ohtani throw a pitch for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And mind you, not just one pitch. It was about 28 pitches, I believe, 22, 28. between that area. And this is probably going to sound bad, but I don't care. Like, I'm glad that he's pitching because he is still one of the best players in baseball. Again, most valuable player in baseball for that reason. But this is a non-story because of who he is. This is Shohei Ohtani. We knew he was going to pitch. It was just about when. And he only threw an inning. Are you expecting him to be a reliever, or are you just trying to slowly work him back in? And that actually gets to kind of one of the things I wanted to talk about here with this. And that was that Shohei Ohtani is the only the only pitcher in baseball that could do this here, that could come back and do his rehab starts in the major leagues here. And the reason why is because, going back to the value
Mm-hmm.
conversation, he doesn't take up an extra slot to be a pitcher. He is not an extra team. He's not an extra roster spot. You can work him into these games. Now, this is basically what would be for any other pitcher. This would be the first AAA rehab start or the single A rehab start, where they only go an inning or two, just getting them warmed up more and more and more. But it's different because, one, it's at the major leagues, and two, because it's Shohei. If this was basically any other pitcher, we wouldn't care. And I mean legit any other pitcher. I understand that Shohei was out all of 2024 pitching-wise here, but even then still won an MVP for being the best hitter on the planet, right alongside Aaron Judge. But yeah, that's my problem is that I saw this and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Okay. There are people that are freaking out about this. That finally we get to see our king back. I'm like, no, you get to watch him throw for one inning where he gave up a run. He did strike out Tatis, though. And he did.
He didn't. He gave up a hit. He gave up a hit to him.
No, he did. I was just reading an article about it. Here, it said first pitch was a 90. Oh, yeah, no, I misread the article. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, gave up a single to him. Yeah, on a 99.1 mile per hour fastball on the inside that he tore for a single. So my apologies. I misread the own article. Apologies. But, I mean, he didn't, it was cool he got to 100. Cool. He's showing that he's got the gas, but we didn't really see much here. He didn't look like he had any amount of his actual dominance. He didn't look like he had much command. I mean, his control was completely gone here, and he still did give up a run in one inning of work. Okay, that's a rehab start for you. That's what this is. This is all just a rehab start, but you're able to do it at the major league level because you do not take up a roster spot.
Yeah, and counter, I do think we care when players are coming back.
Oh yeah, I wasn't saying don't care. I was just saying that mostly it's not gonna get this media attention.
Yeah, that's fair. Even when Strider was coming back, the Braves media were covering his games in Gwinnett. And I don't think Ohtani is unique in that he can have quote unquote rehab starts at the major league level. I think we saw it with Strider that he can't it's like you're thrown back in, and yeah, if the Braves were a little bit better this season, maybe you leave him in Gwinnett, or maybe you slow down the process a little bit. But I don't think that's entirely unique. I think even like Clayton Kershaw, you can come back and pitch at the major league level as rehab or warm up starts. I think that's okay. And even like April starts for a lot of pitchers. But the special thing with Shohei is not only does he not take up another roster spot as a pitcher, but you need him in the lineup. Like, he is your best hitter. He is the best hitter in the National League. He is the second best hitter in Major League Baseball and has been for several seasons now. So he can't have a normal rehab start. And I think this goes into what role he plays with the Dodgers, and that I think it would be great if we played in a universe that was pitchers didn't need to warm up. It would be great if he was a high leverage bullpen arm. If he was a closer, that would be unbelievable. Like pumping 102 and the splitter he throws, that would be just unbelievable. He would be the best reliever in baseball. I have no qualm saying that. Problem is, you can't really warm up, because if the Dodgers, even if you got it to a good part of the order and the bottom of the eighth, and say it's the bottom of the eighth inning, Dodgers are batting and Ohtani just grounded out. Well, in theory, Ohtani can run to the bullpen and warm up. Yeah, in theory, I guess, but you could have a really quick inning and you have to sprint right back, or you could have a really long inning and you have to sprint back to hit again. So you're in a goofy spot either way if you want to use him as anything other than a starting pitcher. But in a perfect world, I think he'd be an unbelievable reliever. Not saying he's not an unbelievable starter. He is, but I think that would be just like an absolute gangster role, like Ohtani coming in like he did in the World Baseball Classic.
I was about to say,
That was peak baseball, frankly. And I would love to see that again. As much as I do not like the Dodgers, and I hope they go 6-156 every year, so they beat the Mets or Phillies. I don't know, whatever. Maybe 12-150. They beat the Mets and Phillies. It would be nice if Ohtani could have that role. I don't think that's possible. Maybe the Dodgers can figure it out. Maybe they'll make a rule and have just like
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they'll like adjust a rule and it would be like Shohei Ohtani, the third rule that we can have our designated hitter can also be our closer, and we get an allotted 15 minutes or whatever time frame to warm up. I'm sure the Dodgers could push that through.
I would not be shocked at all. At this point right now, we're this close to OBR, if you guys know, official baseball rules, has 9 rules with an addendum 10th. Here, we're getting this close to having just the Ohtani rule chapter at this point here, and honestly, I would not be mad about it either.
Do we need a rulebook update on Mr. Luis Torrens there, Mac?
Yeah, we could use a rulebook update. Look, it's crazy. That's like the third rule I've encountered this year. I'm like, that's a rule? Like, it's crazy because I've been watching baseball like about 80% of my life now. There are certain rules like I didn't know about the whole you can tag up on the touch instead of the catch rule. There was another rule in that game where it like threw me off entirely. And then today I didn't know that you couldn't stop the ball with your mask. Look, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, you too, right there, baby.
I mean, I guess it's like, that's, sometimes, you pick and choose when to enforce rules. Like when to call an offensive foul in basketball.
Oh, God. But we don't need more basketball talk.
Anyway, where was it? Oh, yeah. So Shohei.
I'll say Ohtani rule. They did change it this season in some ways to accommodate Ohtani because he didn't pitch last year. So the original Ohtani rule would so his like role as a two-way player, right?
Yeah.
He did not play as a two-way player last year. So they changed the rule. They changed a little piece of the rule that you could be a two-way player in either of the last 2 seasons to count as a two-way player in the subsequent season. So,
well, I know like the Royals, like I'm pretty sure Michael Lorenzen is technically designated as a two-way player because he's played the outfield before. And so when he was in free agency this offseason, he was marketing himself as a two-way player. So I think technically like the Royals have him designated as a two-way guy. He has not played the outfield since 2019, but I guess in theory the Royals can run him out there. He's a pretty good athlete and he could hit a bit back when he did get regular reps. So, I mean, I think actually your reliever idea is really great. I don't see it happening, but I mean, I don't see him pitching more than like a few innings every time he goes out this year. And I mean, to what you said, Alex, I mean, yeah, it's right. Most guys would not get this type of coverage for a 1-inning appearance at the start of a game. But like, my parents were like we never watched the Dodgers. All right. Like there's no reason for us to watch the Dodgers unless they're playing the Mets. But like we wanted to watch on Monday night just to see what would happen. And frankly, I thought he looked really erratic. It is great that he hit triple digits, but it looked like he was overthrowing that fastball like crazy. And I mean, that's the tough part is that because of his bat, you can't send him on a rehab assignment. So his rehab assignment is going to be pitching the first inning of games against these random major league opponents. Unfortunately, that's just going to be the way Dave Roberts is going to have to navigate it. Maybe further down the line, you see him throwing 3-4 innings. Really, the closer idea is probably the best idea for him. Like I said, I'm not sure if that can really work. But I mean, I hope they find a way to do it because it'd make his appearances more entertaining, because honestly, watching him pitch the first inning of a game really isn't all that exciting, if I'm being honest.
Okay, genuine question. So you know how teams have like batting cages under the
Yes.
stadium around the. Is there a way for the Dodgers to renovate Dodger Stadium so they can have a bullpen like in the clubhouse essentially?
Well, I think, because I'm pretty sure
A lot of
pitchers
them
like
do have something like that.
yeah, because I know like during rain delays, pitchers throw in the clubhouse. I'm pretty sure like there's a space in the clubhouse where they can throw. I don't know if they like can fit the bullpen catcher in there and all that.
Well, for one thing, especially like most batting cages in general, you can will have like mounds that you can just like roll in there like artificial, that you can roll in to get your reps in and to warm up. Because all that matters, like the warm up technically doesn't matter. There's not a restriction on the warm up. It's just as long as you're ready to go when you're called.
Right.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If I were like Dave Roberts, I would be concerned with Ohtani as a reliever because of his spot in the order. So he might be the last out of the inning, right? So bottom of the eighth, they're up 2 runs. He's going to be your closer. Well, if he comes up to the plate, and what if he makes an out?
He has to run the bases or something.
Yeah, what if he has to just run the bases, gets thrown out at third, gets thrown out at home or something, and just like
do little league rules. You rotate in a runner, right? That's what we would do in little league. I think it was the pitcher and the catcher. If they reached base, you would rotate them out so that they could get ready for the next half inning. That's what we did in little league, to be fair.
Okay.
So maybe we take this little league rule and you apply it to Major League Baseball just to do it. It won't happen, all right?
That's why Kike Hernandez gets so many pitching appearances. So they can have two-way player. Oh, it makes so much sense now. But in all sincerity, that's really the hang up to me, that I don't know, like the normal 8th inning, you cut to the bullpen and the closer's warming up, or the top of the 9th inning and you cut to the bullpen and the closer's warming up. Ohtani might be hitting. Ohtani might be on base in that situation.
Exactly.
That's my hang up. I'm sure he could do it. There is nothing on a baseball field Ohtani I don't think Ohtani can do. I
don't know. Honestly,
I don't know.
I've run out of things he can't do.
The law of math. It's like the Travis Hunter thing. I don't have any qualms with him playing offense and defense, but does he have enough time in the day to have offensive and defensive meetings every single week? That's my hang up.
Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, I'm curious to see how the Dodgers manage it the rest of the year. This is the first time they've had to deal with him being a two-way player. I mean, the Angels had 6 years of practice there, or I guess 5 years because of 4 years because of the 2 injury-plagued years. But you know, they had it down eventually. Granted, they didn't do a lot of winning with them, but like the Dodgers, this is a team that has championship aspirations. So I am curious, like, how often will he even pitch? It's going to be like a once a week, once every 2 weeks. So there are a lot of questions that still need to be answered. And honestly, I look forward to seeing what he does now that he's a two-way player again. But anyways, that does it for this segment on Ohtani. And I'm sure we'll be talking about him again and again and again the rest of the year, because he is Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, it's almost like we're regular media or something like that.
Yeah, who knows? Anyways, that brings us to everyone's favorite segment of every show. It's time for trivia, and Alex has that one today. So take it away, Alex.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys and gals, and non-binary pals. It is time for a trivia segment that I am borrowing slightly from You Don't Know Jack full stream here, which is the It's Your Choice category. So I have for you, both of you, here 5 prompts. Here, you will take turns from them. I will tell you the 2 different question kinds that you can get. You will choose one, and your opponent will get the other, and then the next time it'll reverse. So, for example, let's say Matt goes first on this one. You'll get to choose which question you want. You don't know what the question is. You'll just know a little bit about it. And then the other one will go to Splash. And then next question, Splash will get to make the choice here. And it's just one question on each thing. So nothing too weird on that. But just one thing I'll say is don't take everything at face value. The winner will be the one who has the most points. So, do you have what questions do you have? What possible questions could you have?
No, the only question is, can we screw each other?
No, there are no screws in this one. Sorry, no,
Crap.
you don't know Jack in this yet. That'd be funny though. But technically,
You are screwed, and then I get reverse screwed.
Player 2, you just got screwed. You got 5 seconds to answer this question. Good luck.
That was my favorite part: is screwing at an opponent and then getting screwed back immediately.
One of my favorite things about it is that if you play the full Steam, which is the Jackbox Party Pack 6 edition, I think, the one that's actually like you can play with up to 8 people on it, the screws are different things. And so it could be like put in a password or type in this password over and over again, or make sure you read this terms and conditions. And it's funny just to get them to lose time. It's really funny. Anyway, I've got a coin with me. I've been cleaning out. So I found a Pokemon coin. So on the front is Zeraora. On the back is just the Pokeball logo. Mac,
Okay.
I'm going to have you call. You want heads or tails?
Tails. Oh.
It is tails. So I will let you know, though, as well, there are only 5 different, shall I say, choices to make here. So going first does give you an advantage. But, again, it was all luck to begin with. Or you could be nice and give it to Splash.
I'll go first.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. So
I'm receiving.
let's get this started here. So, Mac, the choice for you here. Would you like an easy question or a hard question?
I'll go for the hard question.
All right, for the hard question here. O'Neal Cruz has hit the hardest ball of the StatCast era this May. How hard did he hit the ball?
Do we need to be exact?
I need you to be within 1 full mile per hour.
123 miles per hour.
That is correct. It was 122.9.
I knew it.
Ah.
At least
So
that
that
one
is
was for a homer.
Yes. Hard was for hard hits. There. So let me actually make a thing there. There we go. So I can actually keep track. Here I have this. Anyway, all right, Mac. So that means, Splash, you get the easy question. After Luis Reyes, what qualified hitter has the lowest hard hit percentage?
Oh.
Easy as in not hitting hard.
I am going to go with. I'm between a couple middle infielders. I don't know which one to choose. I'll go with
This is
Jacob Wilson
according
to stick with the strikeout rate. I'll go Jacob Wilson. I don't think that's right, but Jacob Wilson.
So, well, then we'll make sure this is from StatCast as well directly. That is incorrect. The answer is Stephen Kwan
That was
at 22.4.
That was my other answer. No.
All right. Well, Splash, it's now your turn to make the choice. You can have a question for Mac or a question for Splash.
Okay. I will go a question for Mac.
Okay. A question for Mac. What year was the first backyard baseball released with professional players?
Oh, God.
What year was it released?
Yeah.
The game was
No.
I'm answering your question.
Wait. Oh, Splash is answering the question. Oh my God.
For you,
all right, Splash, you got to answer.
Oh my God.
I wrote this see if you would do this. I'm so glad.
So confusing.
Okay. I am going to say
I will
19.
be clear on this as well. The name is like the year is in the name of the game. That's the one I'm referring to. Which year on the game?
I'm going to say Backyard Baseball 1997.
Oh.
That is incorrect. Here, that is Backyard Baseball 2001. Had that. So, Mac, you get a question for Splash. In MLB Power Pros 2008 Success Mode, what profession does Tom end up going into?
I'm supposed to know this. Oh my God.
I'm so glad I did this. I'm so
I don't know. Underwater basket weaving.
Yeah! No, it's wrong. But I love the effort. I love the effort.
That would be carpentry.
It's
correct?
carpentry.
Yeah.
I was close. All right.
I mean, they both can involve a basket, and if they both go underwater, you've done something wrong. Anyway, All right.
So okay.
Mac. So right now you have the lead of 1-0.
All right.
So Mac, but the choice is now back to you. Would you want a question about fighters or a question about lovers?
I'll do the fighters.
All right. Speaking of one of baseball's best fighters, Rougned Odor showed his power punching Jose Bautista within 10. How many homers did he have in his career?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Go 145.
That is incorrect. He had 178.
Oh,
in his
I
career.
lowballed him.
Yeah, probably had an OPS plus of 71 with that.
I know he hit 38 a
78.
few times, but he also walked fewer than 20 times. So
An OPS plus of 78 over his career.
that's actually insane.
All right, Splash. Over to you. You get a question about lovers.
Sure.
Did Justin Verlander win the World Series the year he married Kate Upton?
Oh, I think they got married before 2017, so I'm going to say no.
That is incorrect. They got married in 2017.
Wait, what?
In November of 2017, the year that Verlander went to the Astros, where the Astros won the fraudulent
I must have
World
missed
Series.
that.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was 2016 when the Rick Porcello incident was going down.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong,
I thought they were married already. Yeah.
Okay.
I googled this earlier today. If I misread something, it would not be the first
I
time.
am curious now.
Okay, fair enough. Well, before you go and look it up, let's continue on.
Yeah,
The trivia.
December 11, 2017.
Oh, cool. It's almost like I paid attention or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Well, that was
Anyway.
from Vogue. Okay, and then MLB.com said they got married in November. Okay. Okay, fair enough.
All right. So, Splash, back to
Rigged.
you. You get the choice here. Do you want a question about hitters or a question about pitchers?
We'll go hitters.
Cool. Who currently leads baseball in hit by pitch? What hitter leads baseball currently in hit by pitch?
I was on the leaderboard page earlier today. Well, it's not Ty France. Let's see. Is it Pete Alonso? I know he has a bunch of them. I don't think
You're
he leads
wrong.
the
It
league,
is
though.
Ty France.
Are you gotta be kidding me?
13, which the next closest is 12. Here, right behind him. He was tied for a little bit, and he got hit like yesterday.
It's not Ty France.
Yeah, you said it's not Ty France, and I'm like, you sure about that?
I'm 0 for 2 in my. I don't think it's that guy. We'll go with the other guy.
All right. So, Mac, over to you. You get a question about pitchers.
Great.
Name one of the 3 pitchers that lead in hit by pitch with 9. There are 3 that currently tie the major league lead.
The Mets. I'm pretty sure the Mets just faced a guy who is in the league lead.
You just need to name one of them.
I think it's a guy on the Rays then. I will go. It's either a guy on the Rays or the Nats, and I can't think. I'm even like trying to remember who they faced like on the mound. Shane Baz.
That is incorrect.
Ah.
The 3 that are tied with 9 are Joe Ryan, Nick Lodolo, and Brandon Pfaadt.
Oh, I don't know what was I thinking?
I don't know either. But all right, Mac, we're at the final one here. You currently have a 1-0 lead.
Okay.
Rigged.
So here we go. Mac, would you like a question about Judge or a question about Showtime?
Showtime.
Showtime! Okay, cool. I definitely don't mean Shohei Ohtani, by the way.
I know.
Yeah, when Vladdy made his infamous trailer comment, how far did the Blue Jays get that year?
Like in the season, he made that comment.
How far did they get?
I believe he made that comment in 2021 or about the 2021 season, in which they did not make the playoffs.
That is incorrect.
Yes, they lost to Seattle.
2022.
What?
In the spring training of 2022, when they got eliminated in the wild card round by
Yeah, okay. I for some reason thought he said it. Okay, whatever. I thought you like what
Okay.
I thought you meant like what season he was talking about. That was the trailer.
No,
So,
I was saying we may start how far get in that year, which the
Oh
comment
my
he
God,
made about
okay.
it was during spring training of 2020.
in 22. Okay, now I get. Okay, I get it. All
All
right.
right. Full transparency. I'm expecting a question about Joe Judge.
boy.
Fair enough. If you get this right, you tie the game.
Okay.
This
Can I
is
screw-
definitely not a question about Aaron Judge, but it is a question about people who judge things, also known as umpires, according to
God.
umpire scorecards.
Oh
No.
God.
What umpire with at least 10 games behind the plate in 2025 has the best accuracy rating?
Oh.
I got nothing here.
I made the last one intentionally hard. I don't know if you noticed, it got easier as it went on. I actually had a real progression on this.
Okay. The problem is the only umpires I know are either banned for gambling or not very good at their jobs relative to their competition. The only one I can think of is Doug Eddings, but I don't think he's a very good umpire.
Is that your answer?
That is not my answer.
Okay.
We are going to go with. Oh, there's a guy who had a perfect score earlier in the season. I don't remember who it was though.
I believe in you.
Pat Hoberg is unfortunately not in the game anymore.
Unfortunate.
Perfect Pat. Alan Porter. I can't think of more than like 5 umpires.
Congratulations, Mac. You have won today's
boy.
trivia. The correct answer was Edwin Jimenez with a 96.32 accuracy rate. Is the best of every umpire with at least 10.
Okay, Alex.
That's kind of okay.
96% is pretty good though.
He's a young umpire too.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like the young umpires aren't good at their job or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
but he's newer on the job. I can't remember if it was him or his twin brother who had like a comically bad performance his rookie year. It was like a 78% or something. And it's like, dude, I guess
Angel Hernandez was so proud.
Well, I'm pretty sure one of them was like, I can't remember. One of them, I think, was the first guy to replace Hernandez on a crew. I know that he was actually replaced by someone else. I forget the guy's name, but I guess I got to put more respect on Edwin Jimenez's name.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's currently best in the best.
Yeah. I believe he's behind the plate in the Mets game today, Mets Braves game. It's either him or his brother.
Watch he has like a 32% accuracy rating, something like that.
Actually, yeah,
Edwin, he's behind the plate.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I should have just scrolled down. I have the Braves Mets game open on my other tab. I should have just scrolled down and had a 1-in-4 shot at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
GG's. All right. Well, that was GG's. That was I like that trivia segment a lot. I just clearly I wasn't very good at that.
So I like for those of you that don't know, I love Jack and Jackbox games. I've actually gotten to interview one of the directors.
I don't think I've ever played that.
What?
It's we're gonna change that soon.
Yes. LARHQ. Granted, we need more friends than just the 3 of us. To
I mean, not for Jack. For Jack, you don't.
That's fair, but like regular Jackbox games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually we're gonna get good enough that we're gonna have like a Patreon where one of the Patreon donation bits will be hosting a game night here alongside with us.
That would be really
I know.
cool.
I've played almost every other Jackbox game. I think I've played I've played Quiplash. I've played what's the voting game or something.
There's a lot of voting games.
Or the one where there's like an imposter.
Faking it.
Faking it. Yeah. And then there's another one where like you design a T-shirt or something that
TKO, one of the best. I actually do own a shirt that was made in TKO.
Yeah, I know. So during the pandemic, when I was living at the TC&J Swim House, we played a lot of Jackbox games. Mm-hmm. It was definitely it was pretty funny. But
I'm still wondering where we're putting LARHQ.
We'll figure it out eventually.
It should be a rotating. It should be wherever the All-Star game is.
We
yeah,
buy
exactly. Every year.
We buy 3 HQs here, and we just rotate as we choose.
Yes.
It's unfortunate because I'm going to be in Atlanta the week before the All-Star game. So
and I'm
missing
in
out
Atlanta adjacent, like 2 weeks afterwards.
Well, yeah, I know you're going to Bristol, right?
Yeah.
At some point. So, yeah, and then in theory, I mean, I'm working out the logistics of the rest of my summer anyway.
Actually, so I heard through my therapist that you can have Airbnb rentals for multiple months. So we could just rent LAR headquarters.
I mean, I don't hate that idea, but I think that renting would also be extremely expensive.
I was going to say it'd probably cost like my right arm or something.
That's true.
I mean, you don't need your right arm. It's not like you're going to be pitching.
It's like
I was pitching yesterday, not in a game. I was playing catch with my friend.
Yeah, you say pitching. It was more like gentle toss.
Where are you on the clock, though? That's the important
question.
I would say I'm right-handed, so I'm probably at like 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
I'd say I'm about between 3 and 4.
So
wait, is that for pitching or just playing catch?
Oh. Tim Hill's on the wrong side.
It depends, honestly. It depends on how my arm feels. If I'm long tossing, then obviously I'm like trying to come straight over the top. But if I'm
as close to 12 as I can be.
Well, so what my friend and I do is we warm up our arms and we do long toss, and then eventually we just go to 60 feet and you're throwing your pitches, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Eventually, I know we were talking about this when we were throwing yesterday. Like, we do eventually want to find like a rec league or something.
I encourage one of you to throw from the 7 o'clock angle. That just doesn't a thing.
How is that possible? Is that
very
lefty?
Lefty. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, through lefty.
So Tim Hill is 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Is he?
I think he's 7.
Okay. More
and
like
Tyler Rogers is 5.
At least on the one I sent.
Tim Hill is at 8 o'clock, and Chris Sale is at 9.
Yes.
But yeah, that's if you guys ever want to see us play baseball in real life, let us know.
That might be a Patreon exclusive.
That's another Patreon exclusive. Yeah.
We'll be in the next warehouse games.
I have not.
Dude, oh my god, we would do so badly in the warehouse.
That would be so much fun, though.
I have not played organized baseball since I was 12. The last time I played in a scrimmage, I was 16. In the Bard High School baseball club, that was comically bad at baseball. And I have not played.
So I can actually play my rec league / scrimmage games again.
Yeah, so I think also the last time I played wiffle ball was 2019.
Same actually.
We played a little bit of wiffle ball at the swim house right before I graduated, and every time I swung, my back really hurt. So, so that's us playing baseball. But anyways,
it will be great. It'll be glorious.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great trivia segment, Alex. Let's do that again sometime.
I would love to do that for you guys another time.
And anyways, we've reached the last segment of every show, which is the moment to ourselves, 60 seconds to talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about. So who here wants to go first?
I humbly request that I do not go first. Simply because
go first.
Just because I am putting a finishing touch on mine.
Sure.
Okay.
I can go first.
All right, Splash. I'll count you down. Just give me a second. Where's my stopwatch? All right, your time starts in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Ronald Acuna is pretty good at baseball. I'm just going to rattle off some stats entering play today. He had a leadoff home run today, by the way, so he's pretty good. No comments from the peanut gallery on the quality of pitching he was facing today, but a homer and a walk today. So Ronald, he's already third on the team in baseball reference score. That's pretty good. He's played in 22 games, which is like not even a third of what the Braves have played this season. 7 home runs, already more than he had last year, 13 RBI, 3 doubles, 31 hits, 20 runs. He entered play today with a 229 OPS plus, slashing 392, 495, 696. That's pretty good. Not quite as good as Aaron Judge. I'll throw that out there. That's just how good Aaron Judge is. But Ronald, 1.7 WAR in 22 games. Pretty solid pace, frankly. So that's why he's the best player in the National League.
Yeah, yesterday it looked like David Peterson just was actively avoiding pitching to him. And then today, Paul Blackburn was like, yes, let's throw a meatball first pitch. Totally isn't going to swing at the first pitch of the game, right?
Yeah,
And
17% walk rate entering play today.
Yeah, no. I think at this rate, it's hard to keep him out of the All-Star game, and he's going to get plenty of MVP votes this year. I mean,
he's
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the home run derby.
Voting. Like, that could be fun.
I think he could be in the derby.
As for potential buyback stuff, because if you have the base card of an MVP, you get buyback value. So,
and I think it's just another data point in when Braves fans or when Chipper Jones says he's the most talented player to ever wear the A. Like, this is the kind of thing he does. Like, he hit 600 last week, and that just
over 600.
Yeah, over 600. He was walking all the time. It's just been like every time he went up to the plate, he reached base. He was like 3 for 3, 3 for 4, 3 for 4 of the walk. Finally stole a base against Colorado, so he's just one heck of a player.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, Alex, do you want to go?
Yeah,
all
I
right.
can go next now. I finished. Put the last little touch on that. So someone give me a countdown, please.
Starts in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Cal should be the MVP. I understand why he's not, because there is one Mr. Aaron Judge. But I actually wrote a poem for Cal Raleigh because I'm very happy about this. So, oh, Cal, this poem is for thee, giving hope and jokes to this team by the sea. For Big Dumper, this is now your team, hitting the ball so hard, tearing the seam. Extended this year, the fans did exclaim, we have our guy, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. A quiet leader like his coach, one Mr. Dan, learning from our legendary battery to be the new man. While the offense is amazing, his defense is king. The platinum glove really glows. Shing, shing. Gunning down runners and calling a great game, it's no surprise that our pitchers ask for him by name. Oh, Cal Raleigh, so happy a Mariner to be. The next 6 years do fill me with glee. More times to baseballs we will say goodbye, and doing justice to the phrase, my, oh, my.
That was excellent. Wow.
Yeah. I'll enjoy watching the Rawlings ceremony when Cal hands the glove to Alejandro Kirk this season. Otherwise,
dang.
Alejandro Kirk is in that.
He's really good, actually.
Underrated tier. He was not very productive the last couple of years, or comparatively speaking, he's been really, really good this season. Not as good as Cal, but defensively, he's been just spectacular.
Yeah, I feel that.
114 OPS. Well, he's. I
will say, Alex,
12. Okay.
I technically live on Edgar Allan Poe Street.
Nice.
I think Edgar Allan Poe would approve of that poem.
Heck yeah.
And as a fan of a team that has mascots named Edgar, Allan, and Poe, solid.
Very good.
Yes. All right. Somebody count me down.
All right. I'll count you down here. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
All right. So the Mets are obviously in like their first like real frustrating patch, I'd say. They did go through like a brief slump in May, but I'll say this. One, the sky is not falling completely yet, but also Francisco Alvarez, please, something needs to change. First of all, can't believe they told him to not be a home run hitter after he hit 25 homers a couple years ago. But he's really, really struggling on both sides of the ball right now, and I'm just going to say, please send him to the minors. Like, his confidence, you can tell in his post-game interview yesterday, is shot. I don't know how he can contribute to this team currently. He's only 23. I don't want to give up on him, but he needs to go spend some time in the minor leagues, please. His at-bats have not been great. His defense has not been great. He cost them runs yesterday. He made a terrible pitch call error yesterday that led to 3 runs, game-tying double. This over. Oh, and he made a bad throwing decision in the 10th inning that eventually also led to the winning run. I want to believe in him. I'm not going to say, they should just give up on him right now. But a trip to the minors would be worth it. It doesn't even have to be Syracuse. It could be the FCL. It could be AA. But give him some time away from the big league club for a little bit. Let him rework himself, and hopefully it works out for the best.
Okay, I do have half a counter. I think it shows some maturity that he owned up and said it was his mistake.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. Yeah,
not
of course.
Brasabant, not Brasabant. Garrett's pitch, the splitter. Yeah. Granted, Ozuna's hit 112 this month, so probably could have thrown him a cheesecake and he would have swung through it. But
yeah, no, and look, I do appreciate how passionate he is about the game. He really shows a pitcher gives up a run, he feels the responsibility of what's happening because he's the catcher. But just his body language has been terrible. That's a sign of a guy who doesn't have much confidence. And I think he needs to work on that. So, it's not the worst thing in the world to get sent to the minors. I mean, heck, Cal Raleigh is an MVP candidate right now. Cal Raleigh in 2022 got sent to the minors after the first
for a week.
Yeah, no, but they sent him to the minors. He came back up, and he's been one of the best catchers in baseball ever since.
He went to the minors for 1 week and somehow became better than Johnny Bench. No, that's a ludicrously high statement. But
Johnny Bench did not have a season this good. Cal.
Johnny Bench was singing praise of Cal earlier this week.
It was beautiful to see that.
I know. You get praise like that from arguably the greatest catcher of all time. I mean,
it's hard not to be extremely happy about that.
Yeah. So Bench career high 45 home runs and 148 RBI. His career high in WAR 8.6. Cal will be hard pressed to get to that one. I'll
8.6.
Yeah, 8.6, and he did not lead the league that season.
What
he
year
did
was
win
that
MVP
again?
that year? 1972. Oh, Joe Morgan 9.2 WAR.
The Big Red Machine were.
Yeah, Big Red Machine was insane.
Yeah. Also, Pete Rose had 6+. Bobby Tolan had 5. We need that can be what we do when Mac is gone. We can have just naming old players.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a big fan of what was that? There was a guy I used the Immaculate Grid the other day who I used Smokey Joe Wood the other day, of course, big Smokey Joe Wood fan. Two-way player.
Good pull.
Also. And I'm a big fan of Bobo Newsom. So
yes. One moment.
I have a baseball group chat. It's my dad, my brother, 2 of my brothers, and a couple of our family friends, and it's the Bobo Newsom fan club because
the Bobo Newsom fan club, baby.
Oh yeah, of course.
Have I given you the background on the snake?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't remember if I'd done that on podcast. Okay.
Actually, no, I think that's the first time we've seen it on podcast.
Yes. Bobo the snake, my traveling companion.
Nice.
So when we go to LAR headquarters and we're in some random state in the union, he will be in my bag.
Yeah, no, seems like a great neck pillow, honestly. But yeah, that'll do it for us today. Thank you all for listening again. Like I said, we actually recorded on our regular recording day. It is a Wednesday today. Thank you all for listening. If you like what you heard today or like what you watched, first of all, subscribe to us on YouTube, Losses Above Replacement. Hit a like button. Make sure to follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever the heck you're listening. Leave us a 5-star review. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LAR_baseball. You can follow Alex on Twitter at the Sports Guy 242. You can follow Splash at Mr. Splashman 19. You can follow myself at Mathias_A_K. Maybe you disagree with us. Maybe you love the Rafael Devers or hate the Rafael Devers trade or whatever. Maybe you're super excited about Shohei Ohtani pitching again, or maybe you thought you would have done better than us at Alex's trivia segment. Just let us know. But for all of us at LAR, thank you all for listening. Stay safe, and I hope to see you all real soon. Thank you.